It is not visible what I think. আচ্ছা ক্লিয়ার শুভুছে না সমস্তকু
আচ্ছা
so in our last class we have discussed about the knowledges science planning and expertise means expert we have discussed about this then about the husbands how his planning was there and the Napoleon III how he has demolished the states of Paris and everything we have discussed about this. Then public health emerged out of the overcrowding and disease in the mid 19th century European city. So we have also discussed about the problems of overcrowding, whereas how diseases were emerged. The earliest statistics The earliest statistics collected revealed the impact of overcrowding in the cities like London and northern England. So, how the over cities being the main cause for the emergence of the different kinds of diseases on the life expectancy of the of its residents and how it has a bad impact on the life expectancy means the span of life. The miasmatic theories of disease that spread through potted vapor जो कथा काली गतकाली କହିଥିଲି जो ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ପଚା ଗ୍ୟାସ जो ବାହାରୁଛି that spread through potted vapors advocated aggressive cleansing means to clean of cities and the areas that are poor lived. So the areas where the poor persons lived, that means the slum areas where the different kinds of potted and vapors uh, gradually developed. So it is necessary to clean these slum areas. What is slum area ଧନ୍ୟ କିଛି ଦୁର୍ଗନ୍ଧ ବାହାରୁଛି then automatically it will spread to the middle of the town. So ଧନ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ slum ଏରିଆରେ poor ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ disease ହେଇଗଲା. So it is the lookout of the government to make proper treatment of the poor. Otherwise it will spread to the towns. କାହିଁକି ନା ଏମାନେ ଯିବେ ଏ ଯୋଉ poor people ମାନେ ଯିବେ ତାଙ୍କର ସେବା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କର ଘର ଦ୍ୱାର ଓଳାଇବା ପାଇଁ ଯିବେ ବାସନ ମାଜିବା ପାଇଁ ଯିବେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଯିବେ ଯଦି ସେମାନଙ୍କ ହାତରେ ଯଦି ଡିଜିଜ୍ ଥିବ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି it will spread to the other inhabitants of the city. The idea of open sunlight space and the circulation of air is essential to good public health came to be accepted to urban planning. So when they made a plan of the urban city or the urban house, so they gave much importance to sunlight and the free circulation of air. The French philosopher Michael Foucault has given two modes of modern power. So he has given two modes of modern power, that is discipline and the government mentality. So he has given importance to discipline and the government mentality. So whenever we will see about the urbanization of a town or urbanization of a space, so he has given two important principles. Discipline involved the operation of power upon the body, a new way of behavior and conduct. So, what should be our behavior? What should be our conduct? It is known as a discipline. Government mentality operated through a long range of mechanism. Okay, so government should also take care how they should be take care about the health and hygienic condition of the of the poor, and it should be not for a short time, rather it should be a long range of period. Operating upon populations. The material infrastructure of the city, let's say sewers, roads, public buildings, was organized in a manner that generated an image of a self-regulating city. So, governments, what should he do it in? He should give emphasis upon the drainage system, about the roads, about the public buildings. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଘର କରିବା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ମାଗିବା, ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ? ତମର ଘରଟାର ଯେତିକି ଜାଗା ଅଛି, ଧନ୍ୟ ତମର 2000 ସ୍କୋୟାର ଫୁଟ ଅଛି, they will give a plan only on 1000 area, and the rest 1000 area will remain free in order to give proper sunlight and a proper air. So this is the proper planning of an urban centers. So the government, what he has done, he has given the proper drainage system, the proper roads. Roads should be in a cross mark, or it should be give a 90 degree, just like in the Harappan civilization. जो आमे देखिया एमाने गोटे कोन होइतिबे, माने आमे जोले आमे देखिया पूरी कथा तुम चिंता करो, कटक कथा तुम चिंता करो, प्रति गलिले गोटे गोटे साई जाइतिबो, जा पर कोन होची प्रॉपर सनलाइट आसीबो नाही, एवं प्रॉपर प्लानिंग नाम केवल देखिबा भुवनेश्वर रे 30 फुट की 40 फुट की 100 फुट रोड वाइड थिबो, एवं साई साई मध्ये मिनिमम 30 फुट थिबो, एवं सेटा रोडटा पूरा पूरी समकोण रे छेदन करूथिबे. Such cities were unimpeded means not obstructed. Roads were wide. You see how the planning should be done. The roads were wide. Drains operated to carry waste away. Piped water reached directly into the citizen of the homes. एवं सेटा कोन थियो पाइप कनेक्शन थियो पूरा पूरी घर को. गोटे मोर गोटे अनुभूतिर कथा कहूँ पिला माने, ए जो आम भंजन कथा मु कहूँ माने आज की प्राय गोटे 40-50 वर्ष तल कथा मु कहूँ, से कौन है लैट्रिन थी, एवं लैट्रिन से कौन थी ना प्रतिदिन जो आसो सफा करने से कौन करेंगे ना से घर जगार लोक छोट टोकईटारे गोटे ये पकईकरी पत्र पकई से झाड़ा करेंगे एवं महेंद्र आसो प्रतिदिन से झाड़ा जाओ सफा कर. सो तुम चिंता करो व्हाट वुड बी द कंडीशन ऑफ दैट पीरियड. जे सफा कर माने इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू हिम, एवं से कौन हम ऑटोमेटिकली मशा से घर कर किंतु बर्तमान से सिस्टम नहीं. इवेन विश्वास करबेनी से साई भीतर गला हम गंधिया लगे आम जो आम निज घृणा मधु करवा तेणुक बर्तमान कौन हो ना ये जो प्रॉपर प्लानिंग सिस्टम इज देयर. Then urban institutions like the city hall, then the libraries, schools, workhouses, and prisons were sites for the operation of disciplinary power. So what happened regarding the city hall? जो आम जो बर्तमान कहूचे जो टाउन हॉल अच्छी, about the town hall, about the libraries, schools, workhouses. So everything it should be it maintain its a disciplinary way. धन्य लाइब्रेरी अच्छी, लाइब्रेरी खोला हम गोटे डिसिप्लिन टाइम रे धन्य सकाळ 11 हो बा 7 रु बा संध्या 7 रु 10 हो गोटे प्रॉपर टाइम रे गोटे प्रॉपर डिसिप्लिन वे रे सेटा खोला हबो. इवन जो प्लेग्राउंड अच्छी गोटे प्रॉपर डिसिप्लिन वे रे सकाळ 6 रु दिन 10 आधा संध्या 4 रु राति 8 बा 10 जाए तापर आ से ऑटोमेटिकली ताबी पड़ जो काहेकि नल सेठी न्यूसेंस काम मध्ये हेबो होच मध्ये. तेणु the government look out is that to maintain proper discipline in the urban centers. Patel Hall suggests modern planning was often conceived in terms of country and the influence of the state in the market. So it is the so he has opened that Petal Hell. He has opened that it is the influence of the state and it is the influence of the market. So market is also an important place regarding trade and commerce. What we have discussed earlier. Trade and commerce is the main thing in the urban centers. ଏବେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଥିଲି ନ୍ୟୁଜ ଦେଖୁଥିଲି କଟକରେ ଏବେ ଆଉଥରେ ଗୋଟେ ମସଲା ଦୋକାନକୁ ଏବେ ସିଜ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଜଷ୍ଟ 6ଟା ଅଧରୁ 6ଟା 45 ନ୍ୟୁଜ ଟା ଦେଖୁଥିଲି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉ ଯେତେ ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ପକୋଡା ଚାଉଳକୁ ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ ପୁରାପୁରି ଗୁଣ୍ଡ କରିକି ପଲିଶ କରିଦେବେ ଏବଂ କେମିକାଲ ଲଙ୍କା ଗୁଣ୍ଡର କେମିକାଲ ତାକୁ ଗୋଳେଇ ଦେବେ ଏବଂ ଲଙ୍କା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ କରିକି ତାকে ଲକ୍ଷ ଲକ୍ଷ ଟଙ୍କାର ମଧ୍ୟ ବିକି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ତଳଦିନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେଖିଥିବ ମାନେ ପୋଲିସ ସିଜ୍ ମୋର ଦେନ୍ 20 ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରିଜ ଇନ୍ କଟକ ଏବଂ ଆଜିର ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ କଥା ଆମେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଏବଂ ଏଇଟା ହଉଛି ମସଲା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ ମାନେ ସରି ଲଙ୍କା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ এই ଲଙ୍କା ଗୁଣ୍ଡକୁ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ କିଣିକି ଆଣିକି ଖାଉଛେ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଟମାଟୋ ସସ୍ କଥା ଯେତେବେଳେ ସିଜ୍ କଲେ ସେଠି କଣ ଗୁଡାଏ ପଚକା ବୋତଲ ସେଠି ଥିଲା ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଥିଲି ଗୁଡାଏ ପଚକା ବୋତଲ ଅଛି ମାନେ ଟ୍ରକ୍ ପଚକା ବୋତଲ ଗୋଟେ ରୁମ ରେ ଅଛି ଏବଂ ଯୋଉଟା ଦେଖିବେ ଯୋଉଟା ପଚିଗଲାଣି ପୋକ ହେଇଗଲାଣି ସେ ସବୁ କଣ କରିବେ ଆଣିବେ କେମିକାଲ ମିଶେଇ ଦେବେ ଏବଂ ମିଶେଇକି କଣ କରିବେ କେମିକାଲ ମିଶେଇ ଦେଇକି ତାକୁ କଲର ଗୁଣ ମିଶା ହେଇଯିବ ଏବଂ ଗୋଟେ ସସ୍ ଲିଟର ଟା କୁ 10-12 ଟଙ୍କାରେ ସେମାନେ ବିକୁଥିଲେ କିଏ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ବାଲା ବିକୁଥିଲା ମାନେ ହୋଟେଲ ବାଲାକୁ ଏବଂ ହୋଟେଲ ବାଲା କଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ନା ତାକୁ ମାନେ ଆମ ଭଳି କଷ୍ଟମର ମାନଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ ଦଉଥିଲେ ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ ଏବଂ we are also satisfied that we are taking good food. So you see what is the problem in the present society? ଏବେ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ମୋଟିଭ ହେଲା ମୁଁ ଜଣକୁ ପଚାରୁଥିଲି ଗୋଟେ ମାର୍ଚେଣ୍ଟକୁ ଗୋଟେ ପଚାରୁଥିଲି ତମେ କାହିଁକି ଏଇ ଟାଇପର କରୁଛ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦେୟାର ମେନ୍ ମୋଟୋ ନା ସେମାନେ କହିଥିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଯେ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷଟା କରୁଛୁ ଯଦି ଲୋକମାନେ ଯଦି ମରିଗଲେ ତାହେଲେ ଇଟ୍ସ କଷ୍ଟ ଇଜ ମୋର ତ ଚିନ୍ତା କର ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଦେୟାର ମାନେ ହାଉ ଦେୟାର ମେଣ୍ଟାଲିଟି ଇଜ ପଲ୍ୟୁଟେଡ ସୋ ତେଣୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ଯାହା ଖାଉଛେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମେ ଯାହା କିଣୁଛେ ଇଭେନ ମସଲା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ ହଉ ତମେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ବଡ ଆଡଭର୍ଟାଇଜମେଣ୍ଟ ଦେଖୁଛ ତମେ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କର ନିଜେ ଘରେ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତେଣୁକରି ଘରେ କରିବାଟା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କିଛି କଷ୍ଟଲି ନୁହଁ ଏବଂ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମଧ୍ୟ ମିଲଟେ ଗୋଟେ ମଝିରେ ସିଲ୍ କରିଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ଦେଖିଲି ସେଟା ସବୁ ଯାକ କଣ ହବ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ଡୁପ୍ଲିକେଟ ଜିନିଷ ତିଆରି ହେବ କେମିକାଲ ଜିନିଷର ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଉଠୁନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ଏଇଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଥିବ ମସଲାରେ ସବୁ ପ୍ରକାର ଜିନିଷ ଉପରେ ମାନେ କଭର ଲେଖା ଯାଇଥିବ କଲା ବେଳକୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ହେଇଥିବ ଏମିତି ୱେରେ ଆମେ ଜଣେ ନ ଖାଇବା ଭାରତରେ 150 କୋଟି ଲୋକ ଅଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା କିଛି ପ୍ରତିଦିନ ବିକା ହେଇଗଲେ ତାଙ୍କର ପଇସା ବାହାରିଗଲା so this is all about the today's society so Petal Hall he suggested that it depends upon the state that means it depends upon the government and depends upon the market. Jones Holstone he opened that modern city of Versailles means it is in South Africa now able to create a new more equal and a better society and created new machines for living. So what happened why we are telling that America is more advanced than the other countries that means for health and sanitation they give proper importance. Okay ଏବେ ଦେଖ ତମେ ଏବେ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ଯେ ଚାଇନା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କରୋନା ଭୂତାଣୁ ଆଣିକିରି କଣ କଲା ନା ସାରା ପୃଥିବୀରେ ସିଏ କଣ କରିଦେଲା ସ୍ପ୍ରେଡ କରିଦେଲା ଦେନ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ଇଟ୍ସ ମୋଟିଭ ନା ତାର ମୋଟିଭ ହେଲା in order to weaken the economic condition of a country then automatically he will be the great power the super power in the world so it is his motive ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ନୂଆ ଭୂତାଣୁ ଆଣିକି ସେ ଛାଣୁଛି ଆମେ ଶୁଣିବାକୁ ପାଉଛୁ କଣ ନା ଲୋକେ ଥିବେ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ସୋଲଜର ମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଥିବେ ସେ କାହାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ମରିବେନି କିନ୍ତୁ ସିଏ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ସିଏ ଇଞ୍ଜେକ୍ଟ କରିବ ଏଇରେ ଯୋଉରେ ମାନେ ସୈନ୍ୟ ସାମନ୍ତ ମାନେ ଥିବେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ସିଏ ଇଞ୍ଜେକ୍ଟ କରିବ ସେ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଆଉ କିଛି କାମ କରିବ ନାହିଁ ସେ ସୈନ୍ୟ ମାନଙ୍କର ମୁଣ୍ଡ ଆଉ କିଛି କାମ କରିବ ନାହିଁ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ସ୍ଲିପ୍ ଅନ୍ ଦ ଗ୍ରାଉଣ୍ଡ এবং ধীরে 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 କ'ଣ ହବ ସେମାନେ ଟୋଟାଲି the body will be collapse. You see how they are dangerous. ତେଣୁ ଏ ଜିନିଷଟା ହବ ଯେତେବେଳେ ହବ ଆମକୁ ଆଉ ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ। ଆମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉ ଏଟମ ବମ୍ କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁଥିଲେ, ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଭାବୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ଏଟମ ବମ୍ ଯୋଉ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ହବ ଭାବୁଥିଲେ, ନାଇଁ ସେ କଥା ନାହିଁ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଚିନ୍ତା କଲାଣି, ସରି ମାନେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କେତେଟା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଚିନ୍ତା କଲାଣି, ଦେ ୱିଲ୍ ଇଞ୍ଜେକ୍ଟ such type of injection, ହେଲା, such type of injection, ଗୋଟିଏ ଇଞ୍ଜେକ୍ସନ ଦିଆଯିବ ଯେ ଏଣ୍ଟାୟାର ଭାରତ କ'ଣ ହେଇଯିବ, ଧୀରେ 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 କୋଲାପ୍ସ ହେଇଯିବ। କି ଆମେରିକା ଅଛି ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବ, କିଏ ଜାଣିବ ନାହିଁ, ହେଲା। ଅଟୋମେଟିକ ଏରୋପ୍ଲେନରେ ଯାହା ହବ ପାର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ପ୍ଲେସରେ ସେଟାକୁ ଡ୍ରପ୍ କରି ଦିଆଯିବ, ସେ ତା ଆସି ବାରଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବ, କିଏ ଜାଣିବ ନାହିଁ। ଏବଂ ତାର କଣ୍ଟ୍ରି ବିଲ୍ ବି କୋଲାପ୍ସ, ଲୋକମାନେ କୋଲାପ୍ସ ହେଇଯିବେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ତାର କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ସବୁ ଇଣ୍ଟାକ୍ଟ ରହିବ। ଏଣ୍ଡ ଏ ଦେଶ ଯିବ, ସେ ଦେଶରୁ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ସବୁ ଯାହା ଜିନିଷ ସିଏ କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିବ। ୟୁ ସି ହାଉ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଡେଞ୍ଜରିୟସ୍। ଓକେ, ଏବଂ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ କହନ୍ତି crores of rupees they are spending, how that human civilization will be destroyed without any problem. So this is their motto. So you see, what about the John Charleston, what he has described about Barcela in South America, aiming to create a new, more equal and better society and created new machines for a living. It is the motive of the South America. Then Patrick Geddes planning was a piecemeal enterprise in building a new society with due sensitivity to what was unique and particular to its existing form. So the state in Singapore was planned to provide much higher standards for citizens through self-owned house in transforming social life in a number of interesting ways. So ଏବେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି ଯେ ସିଙ୍ଗାପୁର ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଟାଉନ, ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ବାନ ସେଣ୍ଟର ହେଇଗଲାଣି, ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଟୋଟାଲି free from the pollutions and health and condition of that urban or Singapore is 100% better than even the American people. It is highly sophisticated. Okay, so this is all about the Singapore. Now it was a planned to provide much higher standard for citizens through self-owned housing in transforming social life in a number of interesting ways. Suppose ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ କଥା କହୁଛି ପିଲାମାନେ ଶୁଣ, ହେଲ୍ଥ ଆଣ୍ଡ ସାନିଟେସନ କୁ ଆମେ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦଉନାହିଁ, ଯାହା ଫଳରେ କ'ଣ ହଉଛି, ଲୋକମାନେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ନା ଧନ୍ୟ କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ରୋଗ ହେଲା, ରୋଗରେ କ'ଣ ଆକ୍ରାନ୍ତ ହେଇଯାନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଆକ୍ରାନ୍ତ ହେଲା ପରେ 10 ବର୍ଷ ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ କରନ୍ତି, ସେ ରୋଗରେ ଶିକାର ହେଇକି ପଡିକି ରୁହନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ତାପରେ ସେମାନେ ବଞ୍ଚିଯାନ୍ତି। ଏ ଯୋଉ 10 ବର୍ଷ ସେମାନେ ଯୋଉ ରୋଗରେ ପଡିବେ, ୟୁ ସି what would be the loss of the society. ସେ ଟୋଟାଲି କିଛି କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ, ସେ ଲୋକ ଟୋଟାଲି ମାନେ 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 ଆଉ ମୁଭମେଣ୍ଟ କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ତା ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ ହବ ନା 2-3 ଜଣ ସେବା ଶୁଶ୍ରୂଷା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ରହିବେ। ସୋ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଲସ୍ ହଉଛି, ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲି ଯୋଉ ଲସ୍ ହେଇଯାଉଛି, ତମେ ଚିନ୍ତା କର ହାଉ ମଚ୍ वी आर ଲୁଜିଂ आवर ଇକୋନୋମିକ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଂଥ। ଏବଂ ଏ ଯୋଉ ଏମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଯୋଉ ମାର୍ଚେଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଯୋଉ ଟ୍ରେଡର୍ସ ମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ହାଉ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଡେଞ୍ଜରିୟସ୍ and they are not hesitating to kill the human society. ଏବେ ତମକୁ ଯୋଉ ହଳଦୀ ଗୁଣ୍ଡ କଥା କହିଲି, ତମେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ଶୁଣିବ ଯେ ଜଣେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା ଘୋଡା ଗୁହ ବା ଗୋବର, ଗାଈ ଗୋବର ବା ଛେଳି ଲେଣ୍ଡି, ସେ ସବୁ ଯାକୁ ଆଣିଲା, ମିଲ୍ କରିଦେଲା ପରେ କ'ଣ ହଉଛି, ପ୍ରପର କେମିକାଲ ମିଶା ହେଇଗଲା, ମିଶିକି ସେଟା ମସଲା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ ଯାହା କଥା ରହିବ, ଆଉ ଏଇଥିରୁ କ'ଣ ହବ, ମସଲା ଗୁଣ୍ଡ 25% ରହିବ, ଏଇଟା 75% ରହିବ, ଏମିତି କରି ସେ ବିକିଦେଲା। ହେଲେ ବିକିଦେଲା ପରେ କ'ଣ ହବ, ଧନ୍ୟ ତମେ ସିନା ତମେ ଥରେ ଦୁଇଥର ଆଣିବ, ତାପରେ ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ଏଇଟା ଆମକୁ ଭଲ ନାହିଁ ବୋଲି, ହେଲେ ଥରେ ଦୁଇଥର ନେଲା ଭିତରେ ସିଏ କେତେ କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କା ସିଏ ଅର୍ଜି ଦେଇଥିବ। ସୋ ସେମାନେ ଦେଖନ୍ତି ଯେ by any hook or crook they will collect the money from the people. So ଆମର ଯୋଉ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲିଟି ଅଛି, ଆମର ଯୋଉ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ହୋରାଇଜନ ଅଛି, ଆମର ଯୋଉ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ଆଉଟଲୁକ୍ ଅଛି, we should have to change it. Our aim should not to destroy the human society, rather to generate a new generation. It should be our notion. So, technical and specialized knowledges and experts have found modern cities to be the ideal sites for experiments, and it is a new visions of humanity. Now, conceptions of space is a fertile field of study for urban historians. So now the historians they give much importance to study the urban space, the conceptions of a space. That means they are very much interested to find out an area, to find out or to have a proper study of an area which is known as the conceptions of a space. So it is the it is the duty of the historians, or it is the duty of the sociologist or the archaeologist. They are giving a new ways of life, a new. They are thinking about a new mentality of the human beings. Okay, then we will see about the connections and the flows. Urbanization is a concept. Urbanization is a concept that is related to the goods and people flock towards a central space. So you see. So what is urbanization? That means people at the same time the various kinds of good that coming to a central place. ଧନ୍ୟ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ଅଛି ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରୁ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା କନ୍ଧମାଳରୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଯାଉଛି ମାନେ ଆମର ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ସ ଯାଉଛି କନ୍ଧମାଳରୁ ଯାଉଛି ହଳଦୀ କନ୍ଧମାଳରୁ ଯାଉଛି ଅଦା କନ୍ଧମାଳରୁ ଯାଉଛି ସୋରିଷ କନ୍ଧମାଳରୁ ଯାଉଛି କାନ୍ଦୁଲ ଏ ତମକୁ ବାଇଗଣ କଥା ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଦିଦି ଯେ ବାଇଗଣରେ ମୋର ଗୋଟେ କାମ ଥିଲା ମୁଁ ଯାଇଥିଲି କଟକ ମାନେ ଆମର ନତାଲାରେ ତ ସାଧାରଣତଃ ଅଫିସଟା ଥାଏ ସେ ଗଲା ପରେ ସେ କହିଲା କଣ ନା ସେ କହିଲେ ସାର୍ ମତେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମୁଁ କାମ କରିଦେବି କିନ୍ତୁ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡେଡ୍ ଗୋଟେ କଣ୍ଡିସନ କଣ ହବ ନା ନେକ୍ସଟ ଟାଇମ ଆସିଲା ବେଳକୁ ମତେ ବାଇଗଣ ଗୋଟେ 5 କେଜି ଆଣିଦେବ ହେଲା ଏବେ ତମେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିବନି ବାଇଗଣ କେଜିଟା ହଉଛି ଏଠି 5 ଟଙ୍କା ଏବଂ 25 ଟଙ୍କାରେ ମୁଁ ଜିନିଷ ନେଇଥିଲି ଏବଂ ସେଇଟା ଯୋଉ ସେ ବାଇଗଣଟା କିଲୋ ଥିଲା 100 ଟଙ୍କା ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରେ ଏବଂ that is also not fresh 3-4 ଦିନର ସିଏ ବାଇଗଣ ଏଠୁ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଚାଷଟାକୁ କହିଲି ଯେ ଭାଇ ମତେ 5 କେଜି ବାଇଗଣ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ବ୍ୟାଗରେ ବାନ୍ଧି ଦେଇଥିବୁ ମୁଁ ଦେଇଦେଲି ଏବଂ ମୋର କାମ ମଧ୍ୟ ସୁବିଧାରେ ହେଇଗଲା ହେଲେ ୟୁ ସି ହାଉ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଡିମାଣ୍ଡିଂ this type of brinjals of the local brinjals କଣ୍ଟା ବାଇଗଣ ବୋଲି ଗୋଟେ ବାଇଗଣଟା ସେଟା ବହୁତ ଫେମସ ଆମର ଏ ଏରିଆରେ ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ଥରେ ଜଣେ ଖାଇଛି ସେ ଆଉ ଅନ୍ୟ ବାଇଗଣ ଚାହିଁବ ନାହିଁ ହେଲା ଏଇଠି ଯେମିତି ସେମିତି ଆମର ଆସିଲା କନ୍ଧମାଳ ସେମିତି ଆସିଲା ହଳଦୀ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ମୋଷ୍ଟ ଫେମସ କନ୍ଧମାଳ ଆସିଲା ଅଦା କନ୍ଧମାଳର ଅଦା ତମେ ଥରେ ଯଦି ଖାଇବ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଭେରି ଟେଷ୍ଟି ହେଲା ସେମିତି ତାର କାଙ୍ଗୁଲ ଆସିବ ତାର ଆସିବ ସୋରିଷ these are the even ଆମ୍ବ also ଆମ୍ବ ଦିନେ ମୁଁ ଆମ୍ବ କିଣିଛି ଇଭେନ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ କଥା ହଉଛି ଫୁଲ ଚାଞ୍ଚୁନି କନ୍ଧମାଳର ଫୁଲ ଚାଞ୍ଚୁନି ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଭେରି ଡିମାଣ୍ଡିଂ ଇନ୍ ଅଦର ପ୍ଲେସେସ୍ ଏବଂ ମୁଁ ପ୍ରତିବର୍ଷ କଣ କରେ ନା ସେଠି ଆମର ରିଲେଟିଭ୍ସ ମାନେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ କହିଦେବି ବର୍ଷକୁ ଯେ ମତେ ଗୋଟେ 10-12ଟା ଝାଡୁ ଦରକାର ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ପଇସା ଦେଇଦେବି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କଲେକ୍ଟ କରିଥିବେ ଏବଂ ତାକୁ କ୍ୟାନରେ ବୁଣି ଦେଇଥିବେ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯିବି ମୋ ଗାଡି ଧରି ଯିବି କାର ଧରି ଯିବି ତାଙ୍କୁ ନେଇ ଆସେ ହେଲେ ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉ ହେଲେ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ ହେଲେ ଏ ଜିନିଷ କଣ ହଉଛି ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଅର୍ବାନ ସେଣ୍ଟରକୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସୁଛି ସେଟା ସେ କଣ କହିଲା ନା ପିପୁଲ and the goods coming to a central place which is known as urban cities along a trade route temple towns cluster towns focused on production for the market and different functions of the cities so what happened they give importance to the market and the different functions of the cities bombay is a port city Delhi was a rail hub. So rail hub. You see, ଆମର ଦିଲ୍ଲୀଟା ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ରେଲ ହବ୍ ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଏଠି ଜଟନୀ ଅଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶାର ରେଲ ହବ୍ ସଜେଷ୍ଟ ଦ ନେଚର ଅଫ ଦ ସିଟି ସୋ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ସଜେଷ୍ଟ about the nature of the city. India was deurbanized in the colonial period. So colonial period means during the role of the or during the rule of the Britishers. It was under the colony. So they were not interested to make an urban center. So it is deurbanized. The British conquest and the British conquest and pacification led to the deurbanization and destruction of economic flows. So, ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଭୁଲଟେ ମୁଁ କହିଲି ପିଲାମାନେ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ସରି ଅର୍ବାନାଇଜେସନ ମିନ୍ସ people flow from the village to cities. So deurbanization means people flow from cities to villages. Try to make a distinction. Urbanization means people flow from village to cities. Deurbanization means people flow from cities to villages. Okay, so the British conquest and pacification led to the deurbanization and destruction of the economic flows and political authority in pre-colonial India. So, what about the nature of the Britishers? What were the nature of the administration? So, the people did not like to remain in urban centers. Rather, it was a deurbanized. That means people again flow from town to villages. The process of urbanization in the late 19th and 20th century related to the way industrialization and brought people and goods from surroundings range into the city. So after the industrialization, what happened? Automatically, people again flow from village to towns. The establishment of the railways is considered an attribute to the urban system in India. The railway network connected urban centers to the hinterlands from which goods flow. So what happened? What government has done? Government has made a connection from towns to villages, and the sole motive was to collect the goods. In the 20th century, automobile means where everyone using four-wheelers. In the 20th century, automobile age, the highway, the car, and the movement of capital in cities has changed the form of cities from the railway age. So, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ଅଟୋମୋବାଇଲ୍ସ ନଥିଲା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ପ୍ଲେଟିଲି କାର ନଥିଲା, at that time railways it was regarded as a railway age. But now automobiles they are full in every city. ଏବଂ ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ମାନେ ଏଇଟା ଆମ ଯୁଗ ପଳେଇଗଲା, ଆମ ଯୁଗରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ବହୁତ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର କାର ହେଇଛି, କାର ଆଉ ନଥାଇକି ନାହିଁ ପ୍ରାୟ ଅଧିକାଂଶ ମିଡିଲ କ୍ଲାସ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର। କିନ୍ତୁ ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକଙ୍କର ମିନିମମ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ କାର ଥିବ। କାରଟା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଇଜି ହେଇଗଲା କିଣିବା ପାଇଁ, କାହିଁକି ନା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ କହିଲା କଣ ନା ସମସ୍ତେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ କଲା, ହେଲା। ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ କରିଦେଲେ କଣ ହବ ନା କାରଟା ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଆଉ କିଛି କଷ୍ଟ ହେଲା ନାହିଁ। ଏବଂ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଚାହିଁଲା ଯେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଲୋକ ଗୋଟେ ଲକ୍ଜରୀ ଆଇଟମ ଘରେ ରଖନ୍ତୁ, in order to enhance the prestige, the dignity and the economic condition of the people. ଏବେ ତମେ ଯେତେ ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଧାରଣ ମିଡିଲ କ୍ଲାସ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିମମ୍ କାର ହେଇଗଲାଣି ଏବଂ ସାଇକେଲ ପ୍ରାୟ ଆଉ କିଛି ନାହିଁ କହିଲେ ଚଳେ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସାଇକେଲ ଗୋଟେ ଇନଷ୍ଟ୍ରୁମେଣ୍ଟ ଫର ଦ ସ୍ମଲ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଖାଲି ଶିକ୍ଷା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ରଖାଯାଇଛି ଏବଂ ବାଇକଟା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କମନ ହେଇଗଲାଣି। ଏବଂ ଆମ ସମୟରେ କଣ ଥିଲା ନା ସାଇକେଲଟା ଗୋଟେ ଥିଲା ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ ଦ ମୋଷ୍ଟ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଥିଙ୍ଗ, ହେଲା, ଫର ଏଭ୍ରି ୱାନ୍। ଏବଂ ମୁଁ ମଧ୍ୟ କଣ କରୁଥିଲି ନା ଚାକିରି କରିବାର ଗୋଟେ 5 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ବାଇକ୍ କିଣିଲି, ତାପରେ କିଛି ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ମୁଁ କାର କିଣିଥିଲି। ତେଣୁକରି ଏ ଯୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ହଉଛି କଣ ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲି ଦ ଇକୋନୋମିକ କଣ୍ଡିସନ gradually changing the style of living of the people. Sasika Sassans work on global cities that despite the rapid movement of capital in the world economy and the emergence of modern forms of communication opened the coordinating enterprises, etc. and urban agglomerations. So, so he has opened that what happened in modern cities, as long as the population gradually increasing, likewise commodities also flowing to the cities. So if you have any doubt, my dear friends, you can ask me, or you can also share me anything you can want. Anything? No doubt. Okay. Then the next important point is textures, politics, and everyday life in modern cities. Textures means occupation, jibika. ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଜୀବିକା, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ରାଜନୀତି, and everyday life of modern cities, how it is. We have discussed about social, cultural, economic process going on in modern cities. Everything we have discussed about the social life, the cultural life, and economic life. The political and everyday life of cities have been an important topic of study. So now we will see about the political life and the everyday life of the city. ତମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଦେଖିବ ପଲିଟିକାଲ ଲାଇଫଟା ଏବେ ତ ଚାଲିଛି, ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ଚାଲିଛି ମାନେ ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ରାଜନୀତି କଥା ଚାଲିଛି। ମୁଁ ଯାଇଥିଲି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉ ଇଲେକ୍ସନ ମୁଁ ଯାଇଥିଲି ହେଲା, 3 ଦିନ କାଳ ଯାଇକି ରହିକି ଆସି ଦେଖିଲି ଯେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କୌଣସି ଗାଁରେ ଆଉ ରାଜନୀତି ନଥାଇକିରି ନାହିଁ। ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଣ କରିବେ ନା ସନ୍ଧ୍ୟାବେଳେ ସେ ଟିକେ ଟିକେ ପିଇଦେବେ, ପିଇ ଦେଇକି କଣ କରିବେ ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ କରାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ହୁଇଚ୍ ପାର୍ଟି ୱିଲ୍ କମ୍ ଟୁ ପାୱାର। ସୋ ନାଓ ଡେଜ୍ ପଲିଟିକ୍ସ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏମିତି ହେଇଗଲାଣି, ଏନେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସମସ୍ତେ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ପଲିଟିକ୍ସ କରିବା ପାଇଁ। So now we will discuss the texture means occupation of life in modern cities. Now we will discuss what is the occupation of the people. The urban life focus in the city, public and pleasure of the street. So what happened in urban cities? They focus on the city. That means the planning of the cities, the public and the pleasure of the street. How they will maintain their pleasure life. Many historians have written in gender neutral terms. So gender neutrals. So there shouldn't be any discrimination between male and a female. Many historians, many sociologists, many humans, they give emphasis on the gender neutral terms. A woman walking in the same fashion would with the man would be considered out of place. You see how we are regarding a male and a woman. Suppose a woman walking in the same fashion, ଧନ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକଟେ ଯାଉଛି, ପୁରୁଷରେ ଯାଉଛି with much drinks. Suppose same fashion ରେ ଗୋଟେ ଲେଡିଟେ ଯିବ, ଏଟାକୁ ଟଲରେଟ୍ କରି ହବ କି? Generally the society will not accept it. Suppose ଗୋଟେ ଲେଡିଟେ ରାତି ଗୋଟେ ମେଲଟେ ରାତି 12ଟାରେ ଯାଇପାରିବ। ସୋ ଏବେ ମଧ୍ୟ ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କହୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ଲେଡିଟେ ରାତି 12ଟାରେ ଯିବାଟା ସେଫ୍ କି? So this is the situation. Though we are giving importance the gender neutrality, though we are thinking that both the male and the females are equal, but the same thing is not happening. Government ମୁଁ ଆଜିକି ଦେଖୁଛି, ମୁଁ ଆଜିକି ପ୍ରାୟ ଗୋଟେ 32 ବର୍ଷ ହେଲା ଚାକିରି କରିଛି ଏବଂ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଆଟେମ୍ପ୍ଟ ନେଉଛି ଯେ ଲେଡିଜ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଇଲେକ୍ସନ ଡ୍ୟୁଟିରେ ପକା ହବ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ମୋମେଣ୍ଟରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କାଢି ଦିଆଯାଉଛି। ସୋ ଫର ହ୍ୱାଟ ରିଜନ? ନା ମେନ୍ ରିଜନ ହେଲା କଣ ନା ଏ ଯୋଉ ବୁଥକୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ପିଆପି କରିକି ଆସିବେ ଏବଂ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର ଇଣ୍ଟଲରେନ୍ସ ହବ, ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର ସିଚୁଏସନ ହବ, ଇଟ୍ ମେ ନଟ୍ ବି ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡେଲ ବାଇ ଏ ଲେଡି। ସୋ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି କଣ ହବ ନା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ବି ଡିପପୁଲାର। ତେଣୁକରି ସବୁବେଳେ ଚିନ୍ତା କରାହେଇଥିବ ଲେଡିଜ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦିଆହବ ଏବଂ ଏବେ ମଧ୍ୟ କଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ନାଲି କଲର ବୁଥ ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଇଥିବ, ପିଙ୍କ କଲର ବୁଥ ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଇଥିବ, ଯେମିତି ପିଙ୍କ କଲର ଅଟୋ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ବୁଲୁଛି ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରେ ଓନ୍ଲି ଫର ଲେଡିଜ, ସେମିତି ପିଙ୍କ କଲର ବୁଥ ବୋଲି ମଧ୍ୟ କରାହେଇଛି ଏବେ ମଧ୍ୟ କେତେଟା ଜାଗାରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଭେରି ଭେରି ଡେଞ୍ଜରିୟସ୍ ଏବଂ ସେଠି କଣ ହେଇଛି ଅତ୍ୟଧିକ ମାତ୍ରାରେ ପୋଲିସ ପ୍ରୋଟେକ୍ସନ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦରକାର। Okay, so you see, many historians have written in gender neutral terms. A woman walking in the same fashion with a man would be considered out of place. That means it is not appropriate. Doran Massey points out the limitation of women's mobility in public has been closely tied to their roles as wives and mothers. So, Darren Massey, what he has opined that when they became wives of someone and when they became the mothers of someone, automatically restriction came to them. The colonial city had a lower densities of population. The colonial city had a lower densities of population, was more sanitary, streets were wide and laid out according to plans, and buildings had a non-traditional architecture. So what happened during the colonial period? So it was properly planned. It was not overpopulated. Suppose 100ଟା ଘର ହେଇଛି ମିଳଛି 100ଟା ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ହିଁ ରହିପାରିବେ and it was not more than that. ଏବେ ଦେଖ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱରରେ ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ବାହାରୁଛି ଯୋଉ ବିଡିଏ ବାହାର କରୁଛି ବା ହାଉସିଂ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କର୍ପୋରେସନ ଯୋଉ ବାହାର କରୁଛି ସେ କଣ କରୁଛି ନା ଏଠି ହେଲେ ପ୍ରପର ପ୍ଲାନ ସେ ପ୍ଲାନରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଆପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିବ ଧନ୍ୟ 100ଟା ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ରହିବା ମିଳଛି 100ଟା ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ରହିବ and they gave proper importance to sanitation to roads ହେଲା ଏବେ even public health all are given importance there. Okay, in the New Delhi, the bungalow was a form of a dwelling that was culturally and spatially integrated into colonial third culture. Colonial third culture. What King calls third culture means, try to understand the word third culture. That means a child is influenced by both parents. Generally what happened, ଗୋଟେ ଛୁଆ either he or she is influenced by his mother, his or her mother or father. But colonial third culture means those ଛୁଆଟା both influenced by his parents. That means both his father and mother. Black town of Calcutta, you see they have given an important word, black town and white town. You have to remember this point. Black town of Calcutta and white town means only Europeans resided. Black towns means where Indians were resided. You see, black town of Calcutta were more crowded. The streets were narrow and winding. Houses and markets were laid out in traditional ways and seen as insanitary and disease prone. You see, ତମେ ଯଦି ପୁରୀ ତ ଯାଇଥିବ ପିଲାମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଯାଇଛ ନା ନାହିଁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ୟେସ୍ ତମେ ପୁରୀର ଗଳି ଯାକ ସବୁ ଜାଗା ଦେଖିଛ କେମିତି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ପୁରୀ ଚାରିପଟେ ଯୋଉ ଥିଲା ଗଳି ଯାକ କେତେ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ହାଉ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଡେଞ୍ଜରିୟସ୍ and it was a proper sanitation was not there. ଏବଂ ଏବେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ଅବଢା ତୋରାଣୀ ଯୋଉ ଏଇ ଲୋକମାନେ ଯାଇକିରି 5 ଟଙ୍କା ଲେଖା ଦେଇକି ପିଉଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ପିଇଛି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ତାକୁ ବ୍ୟାନ୍ କରିଦେଲା କାହିଁକି ବ୍ୟାନ୍ କଲା ତାର ବି ମଧ୍ୟ କାରଣ ଅଛି ଯେ ଅବଢା ତୋରାଣୀଟା ସେମାନେ କଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ଧନ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକଟେ ଖାଇଦେଇକି ପଳଉଥିଲା ଏମାନେ ତାକୁ କଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ଝାଡୁରେ ତାକୁ ଝାଡି ଝାଡିକି ଆଣୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ଆଣିକି ତାକୁ ଆଉଥରେ ଧୋଇ ଦଉଥିଲେ ବାଲିଜା ପଳେଇଗଲା ପରେ କଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ହାଣ୍ଡିରେ ତାକୁ ପୋଛ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା ଏବଂ ସେ ପୋଛରେ କଣ ପଡୁଥିଲା ଲୁଣ ଲଙ୍କା ପଡୁଥିଲା ଟଭାପତ୍ର ପଡୁଥିଲା ଏବଂ ଲେମ୍ବୁ ପ୍ରଚୁର ପରିମାଣରେ ପଡୁଥିଲା ଏବଂ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଯାଉଥିଲେ ଟୁରିଷ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଯାଉଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ କହୁଥିଲେ ଟଙ୍କ ତୋରାଣୀ ଏବଂ ଟଙ୍କ ତୋରାଣୀ ଯାଇକି ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ପିଉଥିଲେ you see what is the problem behind this ଏବଂ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ତାକୁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମେନ୍ କରିଦେଲା ଯେ ଆଉ ସେଟା କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ଇଭେନ୍ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ମଜା କଥା ହେଲା ପୁରୀ ମନ୍ଦିରରେ କଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ସେମାନେ କଣ କରୁଥିଲେ ସବୁବେଳେ ବାହାର ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଆଣିକିରି ସେମ୍ ରେଟରେ ମାନେ ପୁରୀ ଅଭଢା କହିକିରି ତାକୁ ସେମାନେ ବିକ୍ରି କରିଦଉଥିଲେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏବେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ରଶାସନ ହାତକୁ ନେଇଗଲା ସେ କହିଲା ନାହିଁ ବାହାର ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଆଉ ଭିତରକୁ ଆସିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ଲୋକମାନେ ପଣ୍ଡାମାନେ କ୍ରୋର୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ରୁପିସ୍ ସେମାନେ ଏର୍ନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କେମିତି through this way. So this is the condition of the Puri. ଏବଂ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁଛେ we are so much religious. ଆମେ ହଉଛୁ ଗୋଟେ ଧର୍ମ ଭୀରୁ ଧର୍ମ କଥା କହିଦେଲେ ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କୋଟି କୋଟି ଟଙ୍କା ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେଇଦେବା ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଧର୍ମ ଭୀରୁ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା ସେମାନେ ଯାହା କହୁଥିଲେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ବ୍ଲାଇଣ୍ଡଲି ବିଲିଭ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଯୋଉ କଥା କି ତମକୁ ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି ଯେ ଯୋଉ ସିଚୁଏସନ ନା ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଥିଲା ମିଡିଏଭାଲ ପିରିୟଡ, ଏନସିଏଣ୍ଟ, ମିଡିଏଭାଲ and modern Europe, ancient Europe, medieval Europe and the modern Europe. Medieval Europe ରେ କଣ ହେଲା ନା church, bishop and pope they dominated the society, and even they motivated the people that the key of heaven with the key of heaven was with them. ସ୍ୱର୍ଗକୁ ଯିବାର ଯୋଉ ଚାବିଟା ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି, ଏବଂ ଯାହା ସେମାନେ ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲେ, ଯାହା ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲେ from ପ୍ରଥମ ଠାରୁ ଏବେ ଯାଏ, it was based on the teachings of Jesus Christ. So this is the peculiarities. କିନ୍ତୁ ମଡର୍ନ ପିରିୟଡ ଆସିଲା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଲେ ରୁସୋ, ଭୋଲ୍ଟେର, ସକ୍ରାଟିସ୍, ପ୍ଲାଟୋ, ଆରିଷ୍ଟୋଟଲ, ଜନ୍ ଲକ୍, ସେମାନେ କଣ କଲେ ଯେ ମଡର୍ନ ୟୁରୋପରେ କଣ ହେଲା, they gave stress on the rational quality of the people, and everywhere they asked different kinds of why, when, whom, what, they asked different questions. So gradually the mental horizon gradually changed. ସେମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ବିଶପ ପାଖରେ ଯୋଉ ଚାବି ଅଛି, ଯେ ଯଦି ତମ ପାଖରେ ଚାବି ଅଛି, ୟୁ ଶୋ ଆସ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଇଜ ହେଭେନ୍, ତମ ପାଖରେ ଚାବିଟା ଅଛି, ତମେ କଣ ଖୋଲିଦେଲେ ପଳେଇଯିବ, ତମେ ଯାଇପାରୁଛ କି, ୟୁ ଶୋ ଆସ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ କି। So they asked so many questions to the peoples, then automatically କଣ ହେଲା ନା ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ହୋରାଇଜନ ଟା କଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଚେଞ୍ଜ ହେଲା। ହେଲେ କଣ ହେଇଛି, ଆମେ ହଉଛୁ କଣ ନା ଆମେ ମଧ୍ୟ କଣ ହଉଛୁ ନା ଧର୍ମ ଭୀରୁ କହିବାର ଗୋଟେ କାରଣ ହେଲା କଣ ନା ପ୍ରକୃତ ଧର୍ମ କଥାଟା ଆମେ ଜାଣୁ ନାହିଁ। ଯାହାଫଳରେ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା ଆମେ ଯେହେତୁ ଜାଣୁନାହିଁ, ଯିଏ ଯାହା କହିଲା ଆମେ ସେଟା ଶୁଣି ଚାଲିଛେ। ଆମେ ଯାଉଛେ ମନ୍ଦିରକୁ, ଗୋଟେ ପଥରରେ ଆମେ ଦେହରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡିଆ ମାରୁଛେ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ୱାର୍ସିପ କରୁଛେ, ନଡିଆ ଦଉଛେ, କଦଳୀ ଦଉଛେ, ଧୂପକାଠି ଦଉଛେ, ପୂଜା କରୁଛେ, and we are spending not less than 100 rupees, ଏବଂ ଆମେ ପେଟ୍ରୋଲ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରି ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ଯାଉଛେ, ଏବଂ ଆମେ ଭାବୁଛେ ଯେ ମନ୍ଦିର ଯାଇକି କହିଦେଲେ ଆମର ଦୁଃଖଟା ପଳେଇଗଲା। Why we are going to temples? That we have some weakness. That type of knowledge was imparted by the modern people. So gradually the mental horizon of the people gradually changed and. So you see there are the two towns in Calcutta, one is the black town and another is the white town. So in white town what happened generally, it was a limited persons, it has limited population, whereas in black town it was a totally crowded, and there was no proper sanitation or cleanness of the town, and the roads are very narrow. So automatically the black town of Calcutta, it was a disease prone area. Mike Davis work on planet of slums has highlighted the worldwide explosion of urban populations and the concentration in precarious, dangerous and marginal land. So what happened? Mike Davis, what he has done, he has written a book about the slum areas of the world. So when he is gone to the towns like London, to the towns like America, to the towns like India, and when he has seen this tragedy, that their society was very precarious, their human population, they are remaining very in sanitation condition. So he is the first person who brought to the light about the slum areas. Then in modern city, everyday life is full with labor, conflict and resistance. So what happened in modern life, you see what about the situation of Bhubaneswar. Every day you will see that there was a fighting between the laborers, there was a fighting between the contractors, because they are not getting proper labor class people at there, and the resistance. and always they are resisting to the government policies. The experience of life in city have seen as a source of liberation from old identities. So, what was our old identity? ଆମେ ଯେମିତି ଇନସାନିଟାରୀ କଣ୍ଡିସନରେ ଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉ ହେଇଯାଇଛି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯୋଉ ଅର୍ବାନ ଲାଇଫ ହେଇଯାଇଛି that means we are living with the free light, with the free air, with the proper hygienic condition, with the proper roads, with the proper drainage system. So this is all about the urban life of a human. So have you any doubts, my dear friend? No. Now we will see about urban history in India, the key things. Now we will discuss about the urban history. We will discuss about the cities of the European countries. The Indian city constructed as a stage over nationalism, colonialism, and capitalism. You see what happened in India. We are constructed, our Indian city was constructed as a stage over nationalism. ଆମର ଜାତୀୟତାବାଦଟା ବେଶୀ ରହିଛି ନହେଲେ ଜାତୀୟତାବାଦ ଯଦି ନଥାନ୍ତା ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଏଇଠି ହିନ୍ଦୁ ମୁସଲମାନ ଖ୍ରୀଷ୍ଟିଆନ ବୌଦ୍ଧ ବୁଦ୍ଧିଜିମ୍ ଏ ସବୁ ଲୋକ ଯାକ ଗୋଟିଏ ପ୍ଲେସରେ ରହିନଥାନ୍ତେ in spite of differences between us, in spite of differences of the food habit, in spite of the differences of the dress, everything is there, but we are in one place. Colonialism, ହେଲା ଆମେ ମଧ୍ୟ entire India was under the colony and capitalism. So ଏଇଠି ମଧ୍ୟ କଣ ହେଉଛି ଗୁଡାଏ ଲୋକ କଣ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ନା the capitalist persons are also here, and some says it emerged from histories of labor, the police, industry, and nationalism. So it is the view of others. Some says that it was emerged from the history of the labors. Some say the history of different kinds of police, the history of industrialization, and so on. Industrial decline and the emergence of a new trade and transport networks shaped the growth of Indian cities. So industrial decline. Okay, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଶିଳ୍ପ ବିପ୍ଳବଟା ଡିକ୍ଲାଇନ୍ ହେଇଗଲା जो ଚାଲିଥିଲା जो ସ୍ପିଡ୍ ରେ जो ରେସ୍ ରେ ଚାଲିଥିଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡିକ୍ଲାଇନ୍ ହେଇଗଲା what happened, it was the emergence of new trade and transport network. So automatically trade and transport it began it began a change. Then it shaped the growth of Indian cities, port cities like Bombay, Calcutta, Karachi grew as a result of the connection of international trade. So you see, Bombay, Calcutta, and Karachi, they are connected with the international trade. That means international trade route is there. Hill stations emerged due to the impact of the climate on the bodies of the British officials. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ବ୍ରିଟିଶର୍ସ ମାନେ ଆସିଲେ they couldn't tolerate the heat condition of the Indian climate. So what happened, they went to the different kinds of the hills and they constructed the houses there. Even ଭଞ୍ଜନଗର ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଏଇଟା ଥିଲା ଭଞ୍ଜନଗର ଟାଉନଟା ଏଇଟା ଥିଲା ରସୁଲଗଡ଼ ବୋଲି ଏଇଟା ନାଁ ଥିଲା କାହିଁକି ଆମର ଏବେ ଗୋଟେ ପାହାଡ଼ଟେ ଥିଲା ସେ ପାହାଡ଼ ଉପରେ ରସଲ ସାହେବ ଯାଇକି ରହୁଥିଲେ କାହିଁକି ନା ଭଞ୍ଜନ ହଉଛି ମାନେ ବଡ ହିଟ୍ ଏରିଆ ଆଉ ଏ ବର୍ଷ ଫର୍ଚୁନେଟଲି ଆମର ଏବେ ଯାଏ ଏସି ଆମେ ଲଗେଇ ନାହୁଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଜେନେରାଲି ଜାନୁଆରୀ ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଏସି ନ ଲଗେଇଲେ ଏଠି ରହି ହଉନି ଏବଂ ଏସି ଆପଟୁ କୋଉ ଯାଏ ଚାଲିବ ନା ପୁରାପୁରି ଅକ୍ଟୋବର ନଭେମ୍ବର ଯାଏ ପିଲାମାନେ ଏସି ଲଗେଇକି ରହିବେ ନହେଲେ ରହିବେ ନାହିଁ 10 months up. So ତମେ ଯଦି ଯିବ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଡେରାଡୁନ ଯିବ ବା ମସୁରୀ ଯିବ ବା ଯୋଉ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ କାଇଣ୍ଡସ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଯୋଉ ହିଲ୍ ଷ୍ଟେସନ ଅଛି ଇଭେନ ଆମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଯିବା ଦାରିଙ୍ଗବାଡି ହେଲା ଦାରିଙ୍ଗବାଡି ମଧ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରପର ମାନେ ପୁରାପୁରି ଗୋଟେ କୋଲ୍ଡ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ହେଲା ସବୁବେଳେ ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ବରଫ ସେଠି ପଡୁଥିବ ତେଣୁକରି ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଓଡିଶାର ଲୋକମାନେ ଦାରିଙ୍ଗବାଡିକୁ କୁହନ୍ତି ଯେ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ଦାର୍ଜିଲିଂ ଅଫ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ. ହେଲେ ଏ ସବୁ ଯାକ ପ୍ଲେସେସ୍ ମାନେ କଣ କଲେ ହିଲ୍ ଷ୍ଟେସନ୍ ମାନେ କଣ କଲେ ଦେ କନଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଟେଡ୍ ଦେଇ ହୋମ୍ସ. So hill stations emerged due to the impact of the climate on the bodies of the British officials. Many cities in North India grew after the revolts in 1857. Residents were severely punished, and all parts of the city were remodeled according to the Husband's Parish. So जो हस्बैंड कथा जो कहा जाउची एटा तमे ट्राई टू नोट इट कहीं एटा सब बेले परीक्षा भी आसीबो जो हस्बैंड जो परिचय थिले से जो प्रकार प्लान देले जे वाइड स्टेट हैला स्टेट हिथिबो ए सब जाको तांको अंजई कोन ना धीरे धीरे सिटी प्लान वाज डेवलप्ड. Urban sanitation and public health were used to discipline the urban poor जो कथा मु आगु तुमको कहउथले. So urban sanitation and public health was the main focus on the urban poor जो माने कि स्लम एरिया रहउछन urban poor हला जनरली urban लोक माने rich but जो urban poor अछंदी जो मान those who are residing in the slum areas, government has given proper importance to their health condition. Besides, conflicts and confusions started between the agencies. Workers rioted against plague regulations, construction through bylaws, then subverted. So what happened? Gradually, Joman Rohile, town Rohile, these workers, these labor class people, gradually they demanded different kinds of like for the health condition, for the sanitation, for the food, they demanded many things from the people. So indigenous cultural forms among a modern source of resistance to the colonial power. The Indian cities have been marked by social conflict. Studies of the industrial working classes and the urban poor have tackled the religious conflict as well as agitations at the workplace. So, I have already discussed about the religious conflict. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିଥିଲେ ଯେ ମହମ୍ମଦ ଘରୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଲେ ଅଟୋମେଟିକଲି କଣ ହେଲା ନା ଗୁଡାଏ ପୋର ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ୍ସ ଦେ କନଭର୍ଟେଡ ଟୁ ଇସଲାମ ହେଲା. ଆମର ତ ଏଇଟା ତ ଗୋଟେ ହିନ୍ଦୁ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁସଲିମ ମାନଙ୍କର ସଂଖ୍ୟା କେମିତି ଅଧିକ ହେଲା କାହିଁକି ନା ଗ୍ରାଜୁଆଲି ଦେ କନଭର୍ଟେଡ being they are the poor, being they are not recognized by the society, and they embrace with the other religions like Christians and Muslims. ତମେ ଯଦି ନାଗପୁର ଯିବ ଦେଖିବ ମୁଁ ଯାଇଥିଲି ନାଗପୁରକୁ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ଲୋୟର କ୍ଲାସ ଦେ କନଭର୍ଟେଡ with Buddhism. Studies of communal conflict in cities have been drawn into discussions of administrative culture. So this is all about the urban the themes of the modern cities, or we have discussed about the modern cities, how it would be. So here we have discussed everything regarding their health, regarding their sanitation, regarding their education, and everything we have discussed. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me, my dear friends. Anything? No doubt?
No, sir.
No, then I am going to fifth lesson. Though there is a limited time, only 5 minutes is there. Still, then I am beginning the lesson. The earliest cities in India during Bronze Age in the 3rd millennium BCE. This is called the Harappan culture or mature Harappan culture. So, Harappan culture, what is this? That is the mature Harappan culture. Then we will go to the Bronze Age. So, why it is known as a mature Harappan age is that the Bronze Age refers to the utilizing bronze for the major tools but implies urban societies. So what happened? In during the time of the bronze, they used different kinds of tools. They were made of bronze. It is different from Chalcolithic society, that means village farming societies. And I have given you different kind of societies was there regarding the Chalcolithic, the Neolithic, and everything we have discussed. I am not spoiling your golden time, and we have also discussed about Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, copper, and everything we have. I have detected you. Then the Bronze Age refers to the utilizing bronze for the major tools, but implies urban societies. So when they were using major tools of the bronze, it is known as the urban society. It is different from the Chalcolithic society, that means village farming society. That means agrarian society. So when we say about the Bronze Age, and we will make a comparison to Chalcolithic. Chalcolithic means when agrarian form of society was there, when people depended upon the agriculture. So Bronze Age societies in the old world are known as a Mesopotamia. So during the Bronze, what happened in Bronze Age? Though we have Harappa or the Indus Valley civilization, ठीक just at that time Mesopotamia civilization was there. Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China. So these are three civilizations during the time of the Harappa. Harappa or Harappan civilizations slightly younger to others were urban in character. That means they are older. Means Mesopotamia, Egypt, and China, they are older than Harappa. But we have to clearly understand urbanism, and urbanization. So here he has used three different kinds of word. What is urban? What is urbanism? And what is urbanization? So you see, urban is used for the word city. So when we are using the word urban, that means it is a city and contrasted with that of rural. So when we are using the word city, that means it has the contrast with the rural. If you give the word rural, automatically the city we will understand what is the city. According to B. Godan child, size of a settlement and density of a population, occupational specialization, the presence of a surplus in an economy, a monumental public building, a ruling class, then foreign trade and state organization. So what he has told that whenever there is a growing population, then growing of the trade and commerce, then occupational socialization, everything is there. Then automatically we will term it we will term it as an urban center or as a city. Then urbanism means it is being urban. So try to understand the word urbanism. That means being urban. Urban se hoi jayche. Ebe America, it was already developed, but India is a developing country. So urbanism means it is already urban. जोड़ा की city आगु है जायची. Urbanization means process of becoming urban. That means it is going to urban. So try to make a difference. Urbanism, and urbanization. Urbanization means it is a process. It is a process. Gradually, it is becoming urbanism. That means flow of population, flow of goods, everything is going there. Then urban means an urban city. That means it is a good urban center. परिणत हो जाइछि एन urbanism means जोड़े जोड़े ISM लागिला. So we will say about about the ism, that means the way of life, the way of people. So this is known as a urbanism. So, my dear friends, with this I am concluding here. So now it is already 8:15. If you have any doubt, anything about this lesson, you can ask me, and we will discuss something. And I am giving you the full time. You can ask anything to me. କିଛି ପଚାରିବାକୁ ଅଛି କି? ନାଇଁ। So
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ବୁଝି ହଉଛି।
ହଁ ବୁଝ ପଚାର।
ସାର୍ ବୁଝି ହେଲା।
ବୁଝିହେଲା, ଠିକ ଅଛି। ତେଣୁ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ହେଲା, ଯଦିଓ ତମକୁ ଏ ଯୋଉ 8ଟା ପିରିୟଡ ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା, 8ଟା ପିରିୟଡରେ ଏଇଟା ମୋଟେ ସରିବ ନାହିଁ ଏବଂ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଚାପ୍ଟରକୁ ଇଟ୍ ରିକ୍ୱାର୍ସ 3 ପିରିୟଡସ୍। ମୁଁ ଯୋଉ ଏଷ୍ଟିମେଟ କହିଥିଲି ଯେ 3 ପିରିୟଡରୁ କମିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ପାଠ ସରିବ ନାହିଁ।